And hit us on the jack 469-759-7797 on this Feel Good Friday, man. Just let us know what you're feeling good for. We are in studio chopping it up with brother Michael Burke, who is an author, consultant. I'm sorry, I'm too busy trying to do too many things at one time.
Right? I was doing it too. I was over here trying to put the live on and everything.
Yeah. People hit me up saying, "Hey, man, they enjoying the show. They enjoy your conversation."
I appreciate it.
Right before we went to break, we were just chopping it up about Michael's background and coming up in Chicago, and more specifically, where did you find comfort in your male support network? That's what we'll call it, your male support network, as far as people mentoring and advising you in the streets, because it's an interesting story and it sounds similar to mine. The people that was on the wrong side of the tracks was the ones that identified your potential and groomed you and kept you out of the mess. I've always been fortunate enough to be around some folks at a young age that were doing things at a high level. They saw my work ethic. They saw my drive, so they would keep me out of the bullshit. as they say in Chi-Town, the bullshit.
So I have two instances, and I'll make them as short as possible.
No problem. Good, bro. We got another hour to go. We ain't even into the second hour yet.
So I got two instances where mentorship came into play. So my first mentor would be my mom. And it's weird how it is, right? Because I told you, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, all that other stuff. But she was a intervention piece in my life. So back when I was younger, I used to sell drugs in Chicago. Won't tell you the block or anything like that. I don't want to incriminate myself because I'm on video here.
Statute limitations.
You know what I'm saying?
Statute limitations.
I don't want to do it. But I did. I sold drugs for a while. I was trying to, me and my mom and the family, we had, we were living inside of a halfway house, or maybe a home for battered women, right? Because she had just got out of a very abusive relationship. We ran from the person that was doing it, and we needed money. My mom didn't have a job, and things was coming about. I'm a high school student. I need shoes, I need J's, I need all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So some friends of mine who I call my brothers, they're like, yo, I saw him shopping one time over on 63rd and Halsted, and people who from Chicago, y'all know about 63rd and Halsted back in the day. That was where you shopped at, and so I was like, man, where y'all getting this money from? He's like, bro, you want to get down? We got you. So come with us after school tomorrow. So my brothers, they take me to this spot. My man, this dude sit me down. He like, y'all trust my man? Like, man, we trust him with our life. So he like, yo, take this money right quick. Go buy you a black jogging suit. Come back. So I get back in there, and I'm working. I'm working security. So I'm only working security, but I'm making, for every $1,000 made that night, I make $400.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm about 3 weeks in. My mom watching me shop. I'm putting a little money in her pocket, and I don't think she like it. So it's about.
She don't like where the money coming from because she don't know at this point.
I didn't know.
Okay.
She was taking the money, but she must have been feeling some kind of way about it, because 3 weeks later, about 2:00 in the morning, we get a knock at the door at the spot. And usually when someone doesn't know who the person is at the door, we go through a run through, and everybody needs to look through the peephole and see who it is. Everybody gets through the peephole, they don't know who it is, except for one of my brothers. And he said, "Oh," I said, "What?" He said, "You need to come to the door." I get to the door, look through the peephole.
It's Mom Dukes.
Guess who at the peephole knocking like she the police?
Mom Dukes.
Dukes in the building. She let me in. I let my mom. First, we had to put the guns up, money up, everything, make it look kind of different in there. She comes in, she look at them. Y'all ain't have to put nothing up. I know what this is. I need y'all need to call who in charge over here to the building. It's 2:00 in the morning, bro. So the guys that are in charge got to get out of their bed and come talk to my mom. She tell them, this boy is an A and B student in his junior year, and he don't need to be doing this with y'all. I need y'all to let him go. Luckily, we were with some guys who would kind of understand. They looked at me. It's like, bro, you an AB student? I'm like, yeah. He like, man.
They wish they had the talent you had, and you over here running behind.
You can go home. We're gonna bring him home. So I had to pay for being let off, though, right? You know what I mean? So I had to pay for it. So they had my brothers give me a violation. Those of you from Chicago know what a violation is.
Sound like Vice Lords.
Hey, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. 2 minutes, no cover up.
Organized crime is my passion, brother.
Oh my God,
organized crime.
So I got that, and they sent me back, and that was one of the first interventions from my mom.
Okay,
right. So later on, mentorship came from the block. It came from some guys who
because at this point they don't want to deal with mom. So if they see you,
at this point
they making sure you're going in the right direction.
Nobody on the block would let me get down for a long time, and then we moved, and then I ended up on the streets at 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not with mom now.
Got
you know what I'm saying? So I can do what I want to do.
And see, that's interesting because my story at about 16, 17 takes a turn. I started living on my own in an apartment.
Yep.
I'm ripping and running with a record label here in Dallas. I'm literally in the club from Wednesday night to Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah. That party promotion gets down.
Yeah.
I remember them days.
Mondays and Tuesdays. Mondays I would just sleep.
Yep.
Tuesday, I'm supposed to be in school. I'm skipping school to go down to the office meeting to get yelled at. And then right back to the party. And on Wednesday night, Thursday.
At least you went. I didn't go at all. I was like, you know what? I'm on my own. I'm grown now. And the crazy part is, so I'm on the street. Mm-hmm. So is my sisters.
Okay.
My sisters are younger than me. I ain't got time for school, bro. I got to make money. And the only way I know how to do that is back up on these packs.
Yeah, and see that I'm not going to sit here in front like I was reaching out for the packs. It was dropped in my lap.
Yeah.
Ripping and running in that lifestyle. Yeah. Somebody thought I knew something. They come to me with a proposition. I accept the proposition, and then next thing I know, I'm involved in it.
Yeah.
And it was a real eye opener when you come home one day and everything in your fucking house is taken.
Yeah.
Everything.
So I was on the block, man. Shout out to 5151 South Paulina.
5150. That's the code for crazy.
No. 5151 South Paulina in Chicago, man.
Okay.
That was the address that we called it 5151 because that was the address, but it was us, man. It was a bunch of 17 and 18-year-olds living together trying to make it work, man. And so, I was in between two blocks.
Yeah.
There was the Blackstones behind us on Marshfield, and then there was the GDs on Hermitage.
Oh, okay. So you were
I was in
between two.
It was at wartime.
Yeah.
So they will always be doing something. So this one time it was a block party, and they shot at the block party through a gangway.
Yeah.
And I got super upset. Not only did the Blackstones got upset, but so did we. And they're like, "Yo, we gonna handle this." So as I go in the house and I'm coming back out and I'm upset, I look down the block and the GDs are coming our way.
Mm.
And I turn around because I'm thinking I need help.
And those that don't know, GDs are the gangster disciples.
Yeah. I'm not gonna give up too much information. Look online and do your homework if you don't know.
We ain't claiming it, we ain't banging in here, but we just want you to know what we talking about.
And I turned around and the Blackstones are coming from the other block. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a fight. And I'd already picked whose side I was on from jump because, they already took care of me. I was serving for them. They was making sure my sisters was good. I'm taking their side. And it was a big fight. Huge fight. We're talking about the police stood to the side and let the fight die down so that they can take who they wanted to prison. They stepped to the side. So after the fight, I'm in the house. My girl trying to take care of me. I got a couple of bruises or whatever. And this dude came in. He was like, bro, I never want to see you out there again. Mm-hmm. I was like, what you mean? Like, I'm just trying to help the block, bro. I'm here trying. They out here shooting. We got kids out here. I don't like none of that. He said, bro, I saw your report card over there on the table the other day. I see you.
You ain't no dummy.
You ain't no dummy, bro. Like, you got to stay away from me. He sat down with me. Listen to me. This is crazy. Now, this is a drug dealer, y'all. This is a guy that sat down with me with a gallon full of Hennessy, 2 blunts full of weed, and talked to me for 2 hours about how he didn't want me to be on the block with him.
Yeah.
And he said, you got to get up out of here, bro. You got to find a way. And he said, I'm going to let you talk to my dad. His dad talked to me. He said, hey, I know a place where you can go. And it was Job Corps. Job Corps saved my life from dying on the Chicago streets because I was going to die being that dude. Yeah. Because I was on my way to being him. Like, people was respecting me. They wasn't going to let nothing happen. Like, it was crazy. So those are the two type of mentors that it started out being. It started out being the streets and looking at people and their work ethic and their hustle to take care of the. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of these guys are just trying to take care of their family. Like, they got a grandma at home that can't work
by any means.
School ain't making no money, and her disability not doing it. And this kid, like, yo, the only thing I know how to do is sell these bags of weed.
And it's a generational thing.
Yeah.
Like the family knows.
Especially in Chicago.
Yeah.
You grow up being a gangster disciple. You grow up being a Black Stone or Vice Lord. You grow up in that gang environment, and you get passed down the reins to the block. Like I know people that their brother was, the man on the block, and they was like, "Yo, when he get old enough, he gonna pass over to him," and you end up getting 6-7 blocks full of guys who are doing this work for you. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, you can disagree all you want to, but some of the best businessmen are drug dealers.
Correct.
They know how to run people. They know how to get a product out there.
Market.
They know how to run a business. It's just a product that is illegal.
Correct.
But if you put those guys in an environment where they can run a business, they can probably do better than most CEOs because they get.
Well, look at the majority of what's happening in the rap game right now. You got a lot of top end hustlers that have made their way into the legit side of the business. Jigga.
Jay-Z, first billionaire come from the streets. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you look at it, the man took what people was giving him. He took the opportunity and said, "Yo, I need to make more." I was talking to my wife the other day. He was talking about more before we knew he was talking about more. The boy, if you go back to the La Familia album, on the song,
that's the Dynasty.
Yeah, the Dynasty song.
Yeah,
with him, Emil, Memphis Bleak, and Benny Siegel. He told him, he said, "Rock will wear 80 mil like 18 months. You can BS with rap all you want."
Yeah. He telling you right there with a revolution.
You'll see what Holla Hove, I be in the cut. He was talking big business then when everybody else was just thinking about music. And then as his music evolved, he would throw them little hints in there about what he was trying to do. And now that he done it, this is the part that I don't like. People disrespecting him, talking about, oh, he's selling out to the NFL and everything like that. The man has a platform to talk with the people that's taking care of business.
Correct.
And if he wants to change what we've been talking about changing, he has the opportunity. He has the money, the resources, and the influence to change that. Let him do what he do, because you never know what's happening.
And we talked about this on another show before, and what we did was I actually held off on my judgment on what he's going to do until we actually see what's going to be being done.
Exactly. We haven't even seen. We just know that he's trying to partner with them. He's trying to do business with them. You don't know what the business, the contract, none of that involves. You don't know what he's doing. And
sometimes our people, though, we just like to be mad just to be mad. Like, we'll be mad with no solution. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I hate that. Well, what would you like to see? I don't want you doing it. Like, come on, man. So
there's a reason to be mad.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna transition to something that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Right. So don't be mad at a guy who got it, trying to teach you how to get it through his only resource, which is music, and showing you his life, and trying to make change in a way that you don't understand.
Correct.
Be mad at a gentleman who you've been thinking all your life that your girl think is sexy, that your sister think is sexy, that he been doing sexy music, and he come out and tell y'all that it's okay to have fellatio with men. Be mad at that.
Yeah, you need to be real mad at that.
Be mad at a gentleman that can tell you.
So let's go ahead and chop it up about this, because we're going to get into it specifically. Man, I would love it, man, if you tuned in right now, bro, give us a call, 469-759-7797. You're tuned in to power214.com, and you're listening to World Famous Man Lounge with Franky and that dude, and we're chopping it up with brother Michael Burks, who is an author, consultant, and motivational speaker. So this past week and Angela Yee's podcast, she had R&B singer Tank on there, and they were asking questions about how did it go? Because he didn't say that he did suck dick.
No,
he's advocating that a man can suck dick 1 or 2 times and it be okay, which is not okay.
Please excuse what's going on inside of here right now in my live. I know y'all don't get me on this level,
but this the man lounge, and y'all get us on this level.
It's a little different.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be open about this. Any male on male contact is gay. It's homosexual. Let's use the right word.
I want to say the intent. All right, because
even the intent of thinking of you're gonna do this is a homosexual thought.
If you knock the pylon over or go across the
Hey yo, we got the producer in the building. He said he wasn't gonna let it not be known. Hey, it's a catch. I mean, it's a catch. Like, this is the Dez Bryant situation, bro. If you got it in your hand, or in your mouth.
But see, this the
It's a
problem.
catch.
This the problem that I have. Okay, when people have their platforms,
Yeah.
and then they go out there and they want to hit you with these off the wall ass comments just so that everybody can generate some exposure.
Some exposure, and you heard
But
your brand
there's some teenager, there's some kid
that
who
is
heard that
that is confused out here,
and said, you know what? Oh, he said it's cool.
man.
That shit is not cool.
You cannot use your platform in any type of way. I don't use my platform when I'm talking in schools. I don't use it to promote any type of hate, any type of discontent. There's nothing that can hurt a child's growth.
Okay.
You are a R&B singer, and these women, these young kids, use you as a placebo or a catalyst to get into bed with females.
Correct.
And now that you've come out and said it's okay to put a John in your mouth.
Well, here goes another R&B dude possibly singing about another goddamn dude. This is
right now. You got to ask yourself, how many of these songs were you talking about Genuine? Maybe. I mean, like
who knows?
Are you the reason why your group couldn't get together? Right, because you over here trying to suck on some penis,
exactly,
and they trying to do music. Like you have to look at the whole picture now. Like, yo, where did this come from, and why is it so okay to talk about this out in the open like that? Because I thought back in the day we're so uncensored that everything is okay to talk about now. Mm-hmm. Everything, like there's nothing that's in private no more. Mm-hmm. And I think we should go back to some things should be private.
Well, and that's also because this has been a generation of babies raising babies.
True.
With the absence of a lot of fathers, and in some instances, the absence of a lot of mothers.
Yep.
Being in the household, these children are being raised one way. And sometimes that way is strictly by television. It might be by social media consumption. But they're being influenced and they're being exposed to a lot of things that we didn't learn until we were a little bit older. For instance, in middle school, at the most that I was doing was kissing on the playground. You know what I'm saying? Writing letters. Will you go with me? Blah, blah, blah.
Man, look,
now you got 7th and 8th graders talking about, I fucking the ass because I want to stay a virgin, so I don't have sex in my vagina. I'm like, what? Like, where the fuck does this come from?
Is losing your virginity in any type of way. Like, sex education is lost now. I don't understand.
So I think a lot of miseducation. I don't even think they have sex education
and
anymore.
I don't even think it's the education, bro. It boils down to, and I'm gonna give a shout.
Well, I'm saying a lot of miseducation.
Yeah,
For
and
people
the miseducation comes from one space.
Social media. Where you got
at home.
Okay. Well, yeah, you got to set the foundation at home.
You and I'm gonna be real. You nothing as fathers, men who make a baby and are not teaching your man how to be a man. Y'all failing us.
Correct.
Right, and it came from the generation before us because they went out and got a loaf of bread and some cigarettes.
Never came back
home, or they were low key gay and their mom found out some type of way. Like,
or they lived down the street with the side chick who got the new baby and he left his family at home and they stay right there in the same town.
That was what it was supposed to be. You men out here, and I'm gonna be real because, and I'm gonna give a shout out to my previous coach, Kendall Ficklin, who created a group called G-Men, that they talk a lot about stuff like this, about what it takes to be a man and what it looks like to be a man, because that's one of the failing cornerstones in the family right now. While we see some of these boys that we got like what we have right now. You men out here who are not being a man to your child, that are not going home every night and spending time with your son and being there for him when he wants to play football, baseball, basketball, or when he has a question about how he's feeling and all this other stuff that we go through as a man. If you're not there for him, you are failing your family in the most major way, and you're the worst type of man in this environment. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. You're the problem that we have with the men in this world right now. You're the reason why we're fighting so hard to get back into one space, because you don't know how to handle your own feelings. You went on and left and quit the family, and now your son is out here looking at influencers like Tank and figuring out, maybe I can suck a little dick.
Yeah. And it's definitely not acceptable. Definitely not acceptable. And so what I'll say to that is this, man, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
But just to play the flip side,
yeah.
Becoming a father, becoming a husband, relocating, having to provide for a family, man, that's a scary process, bro. That's a scary process.
I've been doing it for a very long time. My first child was at 17.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Man, I waited.
So my first child was 17. At 17, I was ready to take I was ready to take the responsibility, but because of a situation that happened at that time, she didn't want to be with me, and I did what any 17-year-old kid do. All right, bitch, I don't need you.
And see, but that's different to me because you hadn't matured, she hadn't matured mentally at that age. Y'all made that decision, however, whatever process y'all used to go through there.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is I wouldn't be as punitive against somebody in that scenario.
Yeah.
I'm punitive against the dudes that already have an established family.
Yep.
That decide to go outside and have outside kids.
Yeah.
And then they not taking care of none of them.
Yeah. And I'm like that because I've watched guys who have a baby and that kid is yours.
Mm-hmm.
And you can literally walk away from the baby. Like, what man, what father, what parent can walk away from their child that is your creation? Like, I don't get it.
But you got to have that connection. You got to have that connection.
All of that stuff. And the connection comes as soon as you look.
Man.
Let me tell you, the first time I saw my daughter, because I didn't see the first baby get born.
Okay.
I didn't see the one in the 17-year-old. But I saw
and your
my
17-year-old is the male, right?
No. So
you have a son, right?
17.
No, I'm saying you have
my son. Yeah, my youngest son is. All right, so let's go through.
You got a son and a daughter?
Let's go through the children right quick so we can understand. Everybody, let's go through the children right quick. So I have 5 children.
Oh, okay.
I have a 20. I'm sorry, Ariel, if I'm getting it wrong. 26-year-old.
Okay.
That was the first one I had at 17 years old. I have a 19-year-old. I have a 12, 11, and 5.
How many girls, how many boys?
3 girls, 2 boys.
Man.
My youngest boy is 5 years old playing football right now. Shout out to Matthew. If you listening, bro, through your mom's phone, shout out to you. I love you, bro, at home. I hope you're doing good. So, yeah, man, my children, when I first saw Dolores, which is the 19-year-old get born,
okay,
there was nothing. Let me tell you a story about fatherhood and how it works. I was working for Barton Security in Chicago, in Atlanta, night shift.
Okay.
Over the last week, my baby was giving the girlfriend I had at the time problems, back and forth to the hospital. She having a baby, not having a baby.
Yeah.
And it was this one last time. She called me. She said, they said I'm having a baby. I didn't want to call you, but they said, yes, I'm having a baby tonight. So I tell my boss, I'm like, yo, she having a baby. He was like, that's what you said the other day. I said, no, the doctor said she about to have the baby. I'm going to need to get up out of there. He told me, well, bro, I just can't keep letting you go. I'm going to need you to choose. It's either your job or going to see your baby. As he was saying that, I was taking off my Barton security jacket, folding it up to hand to him, and walk out the door on him. He looked at me and said, bro, you really for to go? And I said, yes. Ain't no question.
Thought you made this up.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, and I don't care and I lost that job.
Yeah.
But I experienced one of the most amazing things on the planet, which was seeing my daughter birthed. And the first thing that she saw was her dad's face.
Man, it's so different having girls.
You know what I mean? Man.
Bruh.
So if y'all never had a girl,
it
changed
ready.
Your life as a man.
It changes
and that's
your
That's the
life.
problem what I'm having about some men. When you have a girl, that should soften your heart and your life in a way where you're like, oh my God, now I got to protect her from the niggas like me.
Correct. But it softened my heart, but it also opened my eyes that I have to educate her about niggas like me.
Exactly.
Because as soon as she bring a nigga in the house that's like me, I'm be like, damn, you found the one. You out here looking for the one that act like your daddy.
You need to stop looking for dad.
And she just don't know how crazy her dad is.
Yeah. And
so
I go through it.
Man.
I'm
going through it right now. So my older brother, we got a series of brothers. My oldest brother, George Alonzo Meredith, a.k.a. Moot, he passed away quite some time ago. Well,
6 years old. I'm sorry. My wife is looking at me on live. Matthew is 6 years old, not 5 years old. So I want to get that right before my wife throws me out the house tonight.
And so when we had my baby boy in 2009, I thought I had knew everything about the process and raising kids and how it's gonna feel.
I know what I'm doing.
So 3 years later, my daughter's here, and man, when I say changed my life, it changed my life. My older brother that passed away, he has two. I'm sorry. He's got quite a few kids. He's got three daughters and a son.
Yeah.
Shout out to Amir, Nana. Shit, there's so many of y'all. Tata, Rocky. But basically, my commitment to him, my brother passed away unexpectedly.
Yeah.
My commitment to his kids, and I had these conversations with him, is, hey man, as long as you tell me the truth, you keep me involved in your life, I'll always be there for you. So it gets to a point where my sis calls me one day and she's basically like, yo, your niece is tripping. You need to talk to her. Well, my sister's got a foundation, bro.
Give me details.
I'm gonna give you some details.
No, I'm talking about if you call me talking about my niece is tripping.
Well, when she said tripping, she was like, your niece has decided to have a boy in the house while we weren't here. Unacceptable. Okay. So I'm like, okay. And she said she's just being defiant. At this point, my niece was due to come down here. She likes to come down. She spends a week. I spoil her up. We going to have hibachis. We at,
I'm giving you everything.
Texas de Brazil, eating sushi, doing all that stuff.
You got all my money, all my time.
She gets
Why
it all.
You want to wild out?
She gets it all. I just melt down when I see my nana. That's my first princess. Well, excuse me, my third princess. Yeah, my older brother, he had an older daughter. My brother here, I'm gonna have some problems today. Shout out to McKellany, who was my first. That's my firstborn. That's my brother's daughter. So, man, I know I'm rambling, but
no, we good.
When when sis calls and says she's having a problem, in my head right away, I'm sitting here saying, damn, man, what the hell's going on? My sister wouldn't pick up the phone to call all the way down here to have me discipline her on the phone. So it must be something serious. Okay. But I have the type of relationship, or I've established the type of relationship that my family knows I'm no nonsense. Yeah. So if you got something going on, don't fucking sugarcoat it with me with the, well, I've been trying to do this. No. What you need? What's up? Let's get to the problem.
Well, how hard do you need me to go right now?
So I get on the phone with her and I just tell her, hey, mom called. What's up? And she's like,
that's her opening. That's her opening. You got to tell me. You better tell me now what's going on.
I'm keeping it real with her. I'm like, hey, I know how old you are. I don't give a fuck about how old you are. I will still get on a plane and come there and do what I need to do to get your ass. Oh, don't. Hey, let me tell you. I'm going to tell you about what I say about the boy. The boy wasn't even involved. The boy's no longer involved, okay?
Of course.
So, I run down, hey, man, changing behavior, this going on. I said, you think people are going to pay money for you to come here and spend more money on you and you not taking care of your business? So, long story short, we have a heart-to-heart, and she gives me the true details of what's going on. Yeah. So, the true details are too much for me to deliver back to mom. So, I give her a timeline. Listen, you have 2 weeks to get your shit together and have a change of behavior. You got 1 week to tell your mama what you just told me, or I'm going to be picking up the phone telling your mama.
You don't want it from me because I'm going to tell it real raw.
I'm as raw as you can get it. Yeah. Okay? So, when she calls me back and says, hey, whatever you said to my daughter, it worked.
Change, yeah.
But and this matriculates throughout life, man.
Yeah.
I coach in youth sports. And some of these things, some of these coaches on these other teams, it's a lot of daddy ball going on.
Yep.
They're not letting their kids be developed by a professional. They're not letting their kids be developed by their coach. Yeah. Sometimes you have to relate to these kids instead of pushing a program on them.
Yep.
Sometimes you got to connect with them.
Yeah.
You got to hear what they're trying to accomplish.
They got stuff
before you shut them down.
I tell the teachers that I work with and in development, you need to understand that what we went through is nothing compared to what they got going on right now. Mm-hmm. Like, we didn't have the pressures of social media, of the extent to what bullying goes into these days. All the stuff. And you.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think bullying builds character.
I do.
I think bullying builds character.
It built our character.
It's just
because we had people behind us said, if you don't go back out there and swing,
you gonna get your ass whooped here.
But you got kids who are looking at a tank and are confused about their sexuality.
Yeah.
And then they go to school where people are making them even more confused with their sexuality by touching them and inviting them to these little social gatherings.
Because I don't remember my teachers fucking like these teachers are fucking. I might have went to school more if my teachers were getting away pussy like that, boy.
Let me tell you something. My wife know what I'm talking about too. I said this in front of her. There's like 2 teachers that if they
would have got the business.
If she would have came to me and said, "Listen, I want to do something personal and private with you and help you with your math." Yeah. Oh, really? I do need help.
Arithmetic
with
like a mother. I have polygons.
1 and 2 looks like, but they get so much, and the teacher's not understanding that it's a different era, different generation. And you don't have to adjust or adapt, but you definitely need to understand and be able to guide them in the right direction. What we got? It look like we got somebody.
Hey, man, we got a couple people jumping, man. We want to give a shout out to John Baptiste. What's going on, brother? How you doing out there, man? I see you up there in Delaware. Brother Curtis Wilbert, downtown. What's good with you, Dallas? Shout out to the Raider family. Y'all checking in. Miss Alex, a queer Alex, and Yolanda Smith. Grown folk conversations. That's right. Grown folk conversations, y'all. We trying to educate the men, man. We trying to put together a platform out here, even though we're not as big as Tank and Angela Yee. What we trying to do? we trying to combat some of this bullshit that's going on out here. That's misleading our kids and getting them to do things that they shouldn't be doing.
Shout out to you women out here. I need you to understand that you are not a father. Please stop telling yourself Happy Father's Day to yourself when it's Father's Day. And
girl, you are doing it.
And look, I'm not saying that to be. I'm not saying that to be negative. I'm saying that to say you're doing great as a mother.
Correct.
Like we understand the trials that you go through. We understand the things that you have to go through, and you're doing great as a mother. I'm talking about those guys that helped you create that baby. I'm talking about those guys who came into your life as a boyfriend and said they was going to help you with the baby, but now they're gone because y'all not acting all right.
Yeah.
Like all that goofy stuff that's going on, there needs to be someone that speaks out and says, nigga, get your act straight.
Get your shit together.
Because truth and honesty, whether if it's your child or not, these boys need more positive role models than ever. And I don't care if it's biological dad, stepdad, side dad, whoever it is. You need to be stepping up and being like, yo, that ain't how we do things, bro.
Well, let me revert back to a conversation that you and I were having.
Yeah.
When it comes to organizing, I have a few different lists in my phone book.
Yep.
Okay, there's a few different chimes that go off. When a certain chime goes off, I don't care what I got going. I answer that call or I reply to that message.
Yep.
With that being said, when I had lost my uncle, my brother, and my father, all within relative about a year or so, I found myself in search of trying to find male advisors.
Yep.
At the time, I was generating a lot of money for myself at that age, 21, 22, 23, going through there, doing a lot of different things at a high level.
Yep.
But I was playing the sounding board for a lot of people, but I had nobody to bounce these things off of.
I had to go as an entrepreneur, boy.
So what I found myself doing was actually like being a recluse. I wasn't going to do normal things. Yeah. I didn't want to go to the clubs. I was tired of the clubs because of what I had did between 15 and 21.
Yeah, I did it all. Ain't nothing new to do.
And it's not that I did it all. It's just that I saw it at a certain level. I had produced events. I had created those opportunities, and I saw what was driving people to those opportunities, and it wasn't what I wanted.
I think for you it was like, if it ain't
generating money, yep.
Why am I even in here?
And so when I left the entertainment game and started security, I just went around town and grabbed some of the biggest security guys. And then when Texas came out with the law that you had to hire your own armed security guard within the state of Texas, that helped create a lot of business for me. Yeah. And so when I had started doing that, the change in my life was watching a family member pass away in 9/11 and then watching him being buried with the 21 gun salute. Yeah. And the folding of the flags and the honor guard and all that. Yeah. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, man, what people going to say about me?
Yeah.
Like, what's my legacy? Oh, he sold dope. He did his thing. He fought like a motherfucker. Like, is that what you really want to be? And so, consciously, man, for like 2.5 years, I did nothing but work every day. Yeah. I didn't even go out. I was literally getting up at 4 a.m, and I was going to bed at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I had work. I did my schooling. I did several jobs. I worked in equipment. I was coaching. Then I had to go be a student. So things had just got to a point where the pressure was building up because it's like now I got pressure to produce these degrees. I got people that's on my back. And then I'm being asked to be a part of an inaugural master's class. So I had to set the standard there. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. At the same time, I'm being doubted as a professional because I have been asked to serve as the interim senior associate athletic director. So in serving in that role, I'm in charge of people that are making more money than me, that are older than me, that have more experience than me. Yep. But they saw the leadership ability in myself.
Yeah.
So I had to stop questioning myself. I had to stop pulling myself out of. If I saw anything out of whack that I didn't like, I pull myself out of the situation.
I've lived my life like that.
You know what I'm saying?
That's how I've stayed alive in Chicago. When I felt like things were getting out
of your control.
Like when I felt like things were going left, you know what? It's time for me to get up out of here. I think this ain't me right here. So I get exactly what you're saying, man. I think the moment that I found out that I'm going to be alone in this man situation is the day I met my father.
Mm.
Like
And see that's something I accepted.
met
I
him
love
at
being
31.
alone.
I met him at 31.
Okay.
So the story that I always got about him was that he was dead. That was
Gotcha.
the first story I always heard.
Wow.
And then the stories I used to hear about him, the way he did my mom, were always, you know, the beating. And
Yeah.
I mean, like, bro, I heard someone told me a story about time where I was 5 years old and he tied my mom to a toilet and made me beat her with a bat.
Wow.
With one of those plastic toy bats.
Yeah.
Like, these were stories that I would hear.
Wow.
So I always grew up with anger and contempt in my heart for this man, right? So I'm at a barbecue, just came back from Kentucky. You know, I was living there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And
Paducah?
back. No, not in Paducah. Mayfield.
Okay.
Mayfield, which is 40 minutes the other
not
way.
far from it. Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, you got to go halfway between
I just know
and
Paducah
Mayfield.
got the airport out there, and my brothers always fly out there.
Paducah is the only place where you can go shopping at. Mayfield, you can't go shopping at.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you what, that Mayfield is that in and out.
Okay.
Everybody know your business there.
But finish the story.
Yeah, I was there, man, and I got back to Chicago. My sister was about to get married. She had met this great guy. She was having a barbecue, and my uncle, who was alive at the time, sat me down. He said, "Mike, I need to tell you something." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Your real dad's alive.
Wow.
And he lives in this area." I said, "What? Like, y'all, people been telling me he's dead for a long time." Like, "Nah, Mike, he's not dead, and he's alive, and he's in this area." I was like, "Well, you know, I've been in this area before. I've been in Chicago 30 years. I ain't ran into him yet. Who's to say I will?
Yeah.
Let me get back to this barbecue.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Let me get some of the chips and dip, all this good stuff." So I get back to it, and my sister, about 45 minutes later, said, "Hey, Mike, I forgot to get, you know, I think it was some buns for the hot dogs or whatever." I'm like, "All right, where we at?" I'm like, you need me to go to the store with you?" Because at the time she had already used up all her little cash to do this big event. I'm like, "I got you. I'll go get it. It's cool." So we go to the store, and I walk in, and if you're from Chicago, you know about Vintner's chips. I saw the Vintner's thing, and I needed some salt and vinegar.
I just know about White Castles, baby.
Oh, White Castles.
Give me 13. Hey, they was the original sliders before they even thought of the word slider.
On the real. And look, you can only get them at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
Bruh,
Go to
give me
bathroom.
15 with cheese. We used to have it in East Orange, New
sack?
Jersey.
Oh, you getting a whole
Man,
sack?
man.
This guy eating a whole
Bruh.
15 sack with fries.
Nah, don't need no fries.
No fries. Just
15 with cheese. That's all I need.
So
2 bites gone.
Let's get it, man. So I'm my sister. She's at the counter, and I'm getting the chips.
Mm-hmm.
And I look over, and this guy walks up to my sister and says, "Adrian." So let me tell you, we don't never call my sister by her real name. Her nickname was Nisi.
Okay.
That's what we called her. So this dude calling her Adrian.
You already knew it was
shook
personal.
us.
Yeah.
Shook us both. So me and my sister used to sell, you know, we used to be on the block together a little bit. So we had a little bond. So she looked over his shoulder
Okay.
and looked at me like this. And I was like, "Got you." And he said, "You're Adrian, right?" Because my sister looks just like my mom when she was that age. So I pushed my sister aside. And as I pushed her to the side and look at this guy face to face, I knew what was up. But I had to ask him, "Who is you?" He said, "Lil Michael." So my hand clenched up, and I was ready. I'm talking about I'm about to give him the work in this doggone store.
Yeah.
Me and him both going to jail together. And he said, "Mike," he looked at my face, "there's 2 sides to a story." You're right. So I let him tell his side of the story, and I learned a lot about that situation we just talked about.
Yeah.
You know, my mom was 16. He was 21. They just had this boy. Neither one of them know what to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that a lot
Very
of,
similar to what you experienced at 17.
A lot of stuff went down.
Yeah.
You know, conflict. My mom moving around, didn't know what to do. Like, it went down. So I understood at that point. But that was my first mentor situation, now that I think of it, on what not to do as a father.
Isn't it scary?
Because you don't know.
Isn't it scary though how the same mistakes can be replicated and not even knowing?
So let me tell you how this trickles down. Remember I told you about my first child.
Mm-hmm. The 26-year-old.
26-year-old that I didn't meet till 2 years ago.
Oh wow!
When I first saw her, she was 1 year old.
How's that relationship developing?
Amazing.
Is it?
But because I know a lot of people do not. There's some people that don't believe in God and all this stuff. That's cool, but I believe in God, and I believe that what you sow into the world will come back to you.
Okay.
If I never gave my dad a chance at 31 in that store, when I found her on Facebook and was like, "Yo, I want to have a relationship." When I found her mother and was like, "Yo, I want to have a relationship with my daughter," can we honestly say that God would have gave me that chance if I never gave my dad a chance at 31?
Correct. To bring
you know
it
what
back.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love the fact that I learned that situation when I was with there that taught me later on how to handle the situation with my daughter. Shout out to Ariel. I don't know if you can see me, babe. You probably can. You'll probably see it later on. But yeah, it was a lot of my life got taken away from her because of mistake of being a father, not knowing what to do as a man, and not having male figures in my house. And then once I got male figures and understood and got some spirituality in my life, I was able to handle that situation in a better manner. So, you influencers out there, you guys who have a platform, whether if it's you got 100,000 people in your feed or you got millions of people, everything you say is writing the story for tomorrow's future. These people, they look up to you. They think you're amazing. They think that you're the next God in their life, right? You know, your word is bond.
Yep.
If you're not teaching them the right things, if you're not saying the right things, then you are setting us up for a very, very destitute future, man.
Yeah.
Because these kids are going to follow what you say. They're going to do what you do. And then you're going to look around and you have no leg to stand on when you tell them that's not the right way to do it because you taught them that.
Yeah. Hey, and you're listening to the motivational words of Brother Michael Burke. This is another episode of the world famous Man Lounge on Power214.com. If you just tuned in, you're listening to Franky and that dude, and we're chopping it up with Brother Michael Burke. If you want to give us a call, hit the jack 469-759-7797. We're proudly sponsored by DSRRBusRental.com. That's right. If you're heading down to the Dominican Republic and you want to do some international travel, you need hotels, you need activities, whatever it is, call Rosario 717-589-8406. And just so y'all know, I do that off the top of the dome, no paper, no nothing. One take, Jake. But yeah, we're sitting here chopping it up with Brother Michael Burke. Hey, man, the other part of our show, man, I really enjoyed the conversation today, and we still got a little bit more to go. We're going to open it up into the freestyle. So freestyle today is just Feel Good Friday. Hit us up, 469-759-7797. Feel free to give us a call and tell us what you feel good about today on this good old Feel Good Friday. It's cold as hell down here in Dallas, Texas. Well, cold compared to what they used to.
It's 45 degrees, 50 degrees. Y'all people on my feed and live, y'all know what I'm talking about. It's 40, 50 degrees here. I'm able to wear a sweater.
Hey,
they out here talking about it's cold.
Hey, man, I had to put that jacket on today. But real quick, you in the sports?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, NFL, last night, Redskins, Minnesota kicked off. Tighter game than what we thought. I think the spread was at 13.5 or 17. Ended up being a 10-point game. Minnesota won last night, 19-9. How you feeling, man? Who's your squad? Chicago, right?
Of course, absolutely.
But y'all are 2 games behind?
2 games behind right
Green
now.
Bay.
And it's a problem. The quarterback situation is destitute right now.
Well, while we talk about quarterback situation, great segue to my Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes looked like a fucking rookie last week. I don't sugarcoat it, guys. You know, I'm a coach. So at the end of the day, I'm going to shoot it how I see it. We look like a rookie. He's got to get through his learning curve. But like I expressed to everybody, I'd rather be going through a learning curve with a rookie than having these mistakes come from a 16-year vet. At least we can see what we can do.
This guy Trubisky, man, is really hurting me to the heart right now. Like, we gave him a chance the first time. We tried to say, hey,
he produced the first year for y'all.
He did. But right now...
And he's fresh off injury. I just don't know if y'all's offensive line is the same.
No, it's not.
And that's key in Chicago, because Tariq Cohen is not doing what he was doing.
True, and I don't know what that's about. Like,
and then they kicked. They let Howard go.
What was a mistake?
Jordan Howard? Yeah. So I mean, sometimes man, you get these coaches in their first year, instead of them looking at who the athlete is, both on and off the field, and understand what makes them tick, they think they can just let him go and then plug in somebody else and keep the machine going. It's not.
I think it's starting off with coaching. Down to if we can get a coach, a good head coach, and
who's y'all coach now? I forgot the name.
Nagy.
Nagy. Yeah.
And so I'm not gonna say that.
Come on, weren't y'all just 13-3?
Nagy's doing good.
What was y'all record last year?
It was pretty decent.
I mean, I understand y'all ended on a sour note with the fucking kicker missing,
Okay.
missing the short. But you
still
sound like you bitter right now about your squad.
And the Punk's still missing him. I saw him.
But they got rid of him.
Yeah, but he's still missing him, which means to tell me that it wasn't just us talking down to you. You just a trash kicker. Let's be real about it. So yeah, I'm glad we got rid of you. That's that. 2, Nagy is doing a great job, but I think he doesn't know what to do with Mitch.
Got you.
I think he doesn't understand Mitch. I don't think he understands what kind of offensive scheme to put him in, and the boy is unable to produce in the way he can. Now, there are other quarterbacks out there that I would love to see in the what's name. You know what? And I'm gonna be on live saying it. We need to give Colin Kaepernick a chance.
Woo! After you just spent a number 1 pick on Trubisky?
Yeah, I think we need to give Colin Kaepernick a chance. He's still working out. I think he's still a great athlete, and I would love to have him with the Chicago Bears and see what he can do. At least we know that he's a producing quarterback.
But he wouldn't produce in that system. He's an RPO quarterback.
Hey man, let's see what happens. Should we put Mitch in a system that he wasn't able to? We put a lot of people in a predicament that they weren't able to produce in the Chicago Bears. We've had so many chances to become a contender in the NFL. Brandon Marshall.
Okay.
We got rid of Alshon Jeffrey, who's doing amazing right now.
Man. And I liked him when he was in South Carolina.
If we'd had Brian Urlacher still, along with doggone.
Well, Urlacher was done. He was on
done
downside
because of the problems that was going on.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about. And granted, yeah, it was he had the concussions and all that other stuff, and it was personal wise. But I believe he had some years in it. And if we had him with Mac.
You know who I'm gonna shout out right now, and we just need to be proud of as black men?
Who?
Jacoby Brissett.
Yes.
Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
You don't hear nobody talking about Andrew Luck and how he retired because this brother has been doing his thing. They 4-2.
Overshadowed.
Bruh, they beat Houston last week.
Yeah, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
Houston is always a
because Deshaun Watson is the man.
Man, Deshaun Watson is an animal to deal with.
Another level.
And look,
and
they
he's
don't
healthy.
have a lot of weapons on that field, and just dealing with Deshaun Watson is enough. That's like being a receiver and dealing with what's his name? What's my man from the Redskins? The safety.
Norman, the cornerback, Josh Norman.
Josh Norman.
He's done though, bro. He last night they had him slated just to like come in for a few plays, and then the cornerback went down. Dunbar.
Stuff,
man, that dude. When we talk about mental health,
yeah, I think it's just some mental things going on. I think they go through their life is on the line, man. You know what I mean?
Well, I identified something early on, and part of my research in obtaining my master's degree.
Yeah.
I looked at student athletes. I also looked at youth sports, the overuse and misuse of student athletes and younger athletes in youth sports. And what I found out, and what really made it click to me, is that 30 for 30 broke session.
Oh.
So when they did that 30 for 30 broke, it clicked in my head that the money that these people are getting, it normally takes you 40, 45 years to generate as a regular civilian, if you will.
Yeah.
So now you're taking this dude who went all through high school, and you know you got to be pampered through high school in order to make these 4 and 5 star reviews, right? Yep. So you got people who's been on your back and funneling, giving you everything that you need. Yep. Then all of a sudden you go to college, and you might spend 2 years there, and they going to do everything they can. And as we're finding out through investigations, a lot of them are doing things under the table to make sure that these families are able to make it.
Yep.
And then the role that they're playing in a lot of these broken homes is the provider. So their first contract, they might see that money and think they're doing something, but they haven't paid taxes. They haven't paid agents. They haven't paid their fees.
Because he put you through
all the fines. People don't understand the fines.
Yep.
You should imagine you showing up to work. Let's just say one day I worked in a call center, right? I work at Verizon. And I show up and on my desk is a fine for $17,000 because I didn't say bye, or I might have cussed on the phone. Like
a lot of people wouldn't be at Verizon. Like, y'all fining me big for
you know what I'm saying? So
but people don't understand those fines for little stuff that we don't even see.
The brother from the linebacker from New Orleans Saints, he decided to wear a head guard that said "Man of God." Yeah. He ended up with a big old fine. Well, he appealed it, and they ended up taking it away.
Let me tell you about a situation that kind of like that. And we're talking.
Well, hang tight on your story real quick because we gotta go pay the bills real quick. We got another music set coming up. Once we come back, we're going to finish chopping it up with brother Michael Burks on Power214.com.
You're listening to the Louisiana Mix with DJ Troy Boy on the Man Lounge radio show on power214.com.